Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. You can learn more about how to explore your creativity later in the video. So we've heard reports of Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all getting HD remasters on the Nintendo Switch in a collection of sorts akin to Super Mario All-Stars. But why haven't we heard about Galaxy 2? There's a lot of debate in the Mario community about what's better between Galaxy and Galaxy 2, and I'm not going to be trying to answer that in this video. Don't make me piss off half the comment section. But the idea for Galaxy 2 to be coming to the Nintendo Switch would be simple, right? If Nintendo is already remastering Super Mario Galaxy, it seems to be relatively simple to remaster the sequel to that game. Considering that both of those games use the same graphics and assets, there seems to be a lot of incentive for Nintendo to do this, right? It adds more content to this whole package, promoting it with 4 games rather than 3, and the original Mario All-Stars did have 4 games, so it would make sense for this collection to have 4 games as well. But we've heard nothing about Super Mario Galaxy 2 coming to the Nintendo Switch in the form of a remaster. And I'm trying to wonder why that is. In this video, I'm going to be going over some reasons for why Nintendo potentially would not want to include Galaxy 2 in these rumored remasters. Again, we don't know that Galaxy 2 is not coming in this collection. We don't even know for a fact that all 3 of the other remasters are coming, but they're from some very reliable sources, which I've gone over in previous videos, so I think we could believe in those. But for a game that has a lot of fans out there, there's a lot of people that Galaxy 2 is their favorite 3D Mario game, and this idea that it might not be included is disappointing them. Along with speculation about why Galaxy 2 might not be coming, I'll also go over a few changes for how Nintendo could improve Super Mario Galaxy, since it is rumored to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. We got a lot of Galaxy stuff to talk about today, so without further ado, let's get started. One of the main reasons for why Nintendo might not want to include Galaxy 2 in this package is that many missions are similar to that of Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, just look at this Piranha boss fight. From aesthetics alone, it's almost identical. A lot of the galaxies between both of the games are very similar as well. One of the main criticisms I've seen of Galaxy 2 online is that many people feel that the galaxies are so similar to Galaxy 1 that they're not experiencing anything really that new. Sure, the missions in the galaxies themselves are new, but I see a lot of people playing the game and being like, oh, another B galaxy, another galaxy based on this or that, and that could wear a lot of people down. A lot of people that play these games for the aesthetic variety, the uniqueness included in the levels, and they see Galaxy 2, and it's a lot of the stuff that they've already played through before. Now, if you're looking at Galaxy 2 just as a game on its own, you could really appreciate the levels that are included within it. You might think that they're better than the levels included in the original Galaxy. But when looking at both games together, the game that introduced a lot of the concepts that Galaxy 2 is using and piggybacking off of were already included in a Mario game, and Nintendo may feel that it's redundant to show it off again. This is made more true when you consider that Galaxy 2 was really just made as a cash grab to capitalize off of the success of Galaxy 1. If Galaxy 1 bombed sales-wise, which obviously wasn't going to happen, this is a 3D Mario game after all, but it was a bit ambitious in terms of its aesthetic, and it may not have appealed to as many people as it ended up appealing to. So if it did end up bombing, for example, I bet we wouldn't have gotten Galaxy 2. But because Galaxy was massively successful, Galaxy 2 being released a couple of years later made a lot of sense. There's a lot of people that wanted more of that same content that they really enjoyed out of Galaxy, so they went and bought Galaxy 2. It's kind of like saying, oh, using all of these assets for this game worked really well here, let's just add a few more things in, a few new features, and call it a brand new game, and sell it, and generate millions of dollars from revenue here. So Nintendo may not feel that it's necessary to include a game that was created for this purpose, regardless of how high the quality of the game is. They may not want to include it in this package because of that. Another aspect of Galaxy 2 that I think a lot of people aren't focusing on as much is the actual level style that it's based in. Going back to this graphic that Nintendo released prior to the launch of Super Mario Odyssey, where they said that they wanted to bring Mario back to its core roots, that more sandbox style oriented gameplay of 64 and Sunshine. There's a divide in the community about what the Galaxy games should be considered as. Nintendo themselves clearly in this image consider them more of the level-based Mario games like 3D Land and 3D World. They don't consider the Galaxy games to be that open-ended. But there's a lot of people in the community that feel that Galaxy, and to some extent Galaxy 2, are more like the Sandbox Style Mario games. Personally, I like to put them in their own third group because they're a mix of both styles. But one thing that I think is for certain that a lot of people would agree on is Galaxy 1, is a lot closer to the Sandbox Style Mario games like 64 and Sunshine than Galaxy 2 is. Galaxy 2, ignoring the content that's actually in the planets themselves, which is a little bit more open-ended than 3D Land and 3D World's levels. There's a little bit more to do, but there's definitely not as much to do in a single level as 64 or Sunshine. but the way they lay out the levels is a straight level select screen, like you would see in 3D Land, 3D World, or any of the 2D Mario games that are out there. Nintendo just came out with Galaxy 2 and embraced the idea of it not only being a cash grab to capitalize on the success of a previous game, but also embraced it transitioning the 3D Mario series to a level-based format, whereas Galaxy didn't exactly do that with its first approach. Super Mario Galaxy still has a hub world, the Rosalina Observatory, where you could go to different planets from there, akin to how Mario 64 and Sunshine both have their hub worlds from which you can travel to various different levels. So those sandbox style roots are still present a little bit more in Galaxy, despite the fact that Nintendo modernly considers both of these games to be more level-based Mario games. But if you talk to a lot of people in the Mario community, as I have, a lot of them will tell you that these games are more like sandbox style Mario games than not. And because one of them is a little bit more embracive of that than the other, maybe Nintendo wants to include Galaxy and not Galaxy 2, which is definitely straying more away from those 3D Mario roots. This could also be potentially why Super Mario 3D Land is also not being rumored to come as part of this remastered collection. Nintendo seems to be approaching this as 3 3D Mario games which are more in the sandbox style to appeal to the core Mario fans that Odyssey appealed to, but then they're also putting out Super Mario 3D World Deluxe, which is appealing to all those level-based Mario fans who enjoyed playing that game and could experience that with some new levels added in. And because of these divides where Nintendo seems to be approaching demographics here, maybe Galaxy 2 just isn't a fit in this collection because of that. Another reason for why Galaxy 2 may not be included is galaxies like the throwback Galaxy would be kind of weird to include. Super Mario 64 is already getting remastered in this collection. All 3 of them are coming together in one package, going off of what the rumors are saying. So including the Womp's Fortress Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 2 when we're already getting a remaster of Mario 64, which that course is remastering itself, would be very weird and I don't think would make that much sense, and this could be a reason, although a relatively smaller one, for why Nintendo would not want to include Galaxy 2 in here. Going back to a location that's present in another game in the same collection is really weird. The next component that I want to talk about here is that it may be easy to include some of the more unique galaxies present in Galaxy 2 inside of the Super Mario Galaxy remaster, just like bonus content already. Nintendo may feel, partially because of some of the reasons that I already mentioned, like the repetitivity of galaxies for example, that it may not be worth it to include all these galaxies, some of which are very similar to ones already included in Galaxy 1, so you'll just throw in some of the more unique ones that were introduced for 2, some of the fan favorite ones, and you can list some of yours in the comments down below, because I'm curious to see what some of your fan favorites are. But you could just throw some of them into the Galaxy remaster and allow you to go from the Comet Observatory off to some of the Galaxy 2 planets. You could maybe include some of the green stars from Galaxy 2 as well into certain Galaxy 1 levels, including some of that content just as a reference to something that was unique to Galaxy 2. And the final reason that I want to talk about here is maybe Nintendo doesn't want 4 games included in this collection because it'll take too much cartridge space. Nintendo has seemed to pride themselves in the Switch era for their games not taking up too much storage space. A game like Breath of the Wild, when included on another console, would probably not be heavily compressed like it is on the Switch and may take up like 50 gigabytes. I mean, realistically, that's what you could expect to happen if the game was on Steam. But on the Switch, it takes up 13, 14, 15 gigabytes, something like that. That's really not that much, and I know the Nintendo Switch's storage space is relatively limited because of this fact, but because the games don't take up too much space on the Nintendo Switch, it doesn't really need that much more storage. But if you were to include 4 HD full-length 3D Mario games, I know some of them are shorter than others, Mario 64 doesn't have the longest playtime, but still, Nintendo might be hesitant to include all that content on one cartridge because it might just take up too much space as compared to what they're willing to give up in one cartridge. They might feel that it's worth the purchase to people already just buying these 3 3D Mario games, and I definitely believe that it is. But for those reasons, Nintendo may not want to include Galaxy 2. It still may get included, and God, I hope for the fans of Galaxy 2 that it does. But if it doesn't, you could go back to this video and look at some of these reasons, and that's probably going to be why. There is a significant aspect if Galaxy 2 is not included in this though, and that would be that Nintendo is probably more unlikely to release a Super Mario Galaxy 3, a very highly requested new 3D Mario game, if Galaxy 2 is not included in this collection, because then you don't have 2 games of Prelude before the new entry in the Galaxy series. If Galaxy 1 and 2 are included in this collection, I think the likelihood for a Super Mario Galaxy 3 goes up tremendously, because you'll be able to play both of the games that lead up to this new one on the same console. So you'll get a lot of people who've never played Galaxy before to play those games now, and then they'll be more excited, hyped, anticipated for a Galaxy 3. I think that's the theory behind rumors for why Nintendo wants to put the Metroid Prime trilogy on the Switch as well before Metroid Prime 4 comes out, whenever that ends up coming out. That's probably why Nintendo wants to remaster Xenoblade Chronicles now, so maybe some people who enjoyed playing the original one will go and buy 2, which is already on the Switch. They're kind of doing it in reverse order, but it still makes sense. Now I'll just go over a couple changes I'd like to see for Super Mario Galaxy if it does in fact get remastered to the Nintendo Switch, like it is reported to be. I've already talked about implementing some green star challenges into the Galaxy 1 levels, which I think would create a lot more content and replay value, which would be a lot of fun. Implementing some of the content from Galaxy 2, like I already touched on, would be great, and a big change would be the control scheme. Not necessarily in how it works from a default perspective. I could just see the Wii and Nunchuk be changed over to the Joy-Cons and it working relatively seamlessly. That's one of the main reasons that I've talked about in previous videos for why I believe a Galaxy 3 would work tremendously well on the Switch, because the controls would be so intuitive. Just allow the Joy-Cons to act like the Wii Remote and Nunchuk, and they'll probably even be more comfortable and work better for the gameplay. Now you do need to have a new control setup for the portable Switch though, and this is where one of the main changes comes in. Potentially allow the second joystick to collect star bits or some other method. It'll be interesting to see how they end up doing this, because Shigeru Miyamoto is quoted as saying that he believes the camera control for Galaxy didn't work out so well, and that's one of the main areas of focus that they had on Super Mario Odyssey. So maybe they'll want to use that C-stick for camera controls for Galaxy, albeit it's not as necessary as changing the camera for Mario Sunshine and 64, but that could be an area of focus where Nintendo wants to go and delve more into. The controls will be a big change for the Mario Galaxy Remaster, especially for the portable Switch and playing with a Pro controller, but for the Joy-Cons I believe it's going to act relatively similar to how we played it on the Wii, which I know a lot of people enjoyed. It didn't hit home with everybody, but not really any feature does from any video game, so some changes will be warranted, but I think giving people the option of whether or not they want to use the motion controls will be for the best. It's no doubt that these remasters coming to Switch will be masterpieces in game design, and maybe someday you could design the game of your dreams as well, using the resources available from Skillshare. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes in design, business, technology, and much more, including game development. Look, when we're all stuck inside for the most part nowadays, it's a great opportunity to learn that one skill you've always been thinking about. A class I've really enjoyed during this time is mastering C# in 6 hours, a great way to get involved in the world of programming even if you don't have much experience. If you're someone who wants to learn how to make a video game, or learn about a variety of other topics, then Skillshare is definitely for you. A premium membership gives you unlimited access to high quality classes on must-know topics so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Skillshare is also more affordable than most other learning programs out there, with an annual subscription fee of less than $10 a month. And the best part is the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of the premium membership so you can explore your creativity. Since there's no risk involved, I strongly encourage you to check it out. Now, if you're interested in some changes I think should be made to Super Mario Sunshine and 64 if they end up getting remastered on the Nintendo Switch, check out the previous videos that I have linked for you on this screen right now, and consider subscribing and clicking the bell if you want to get notified for more Nintendo content on your way very soon. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.